Good morning, everyone. Good morning, world. It's up you o'clock. Welcome to Up You with Ezine show, where we dive deep into matters that matter. I am very pleased to be here today and particularly happy to have you on the show. How you all doing? I trust everyone is keeping good, keeping well. So today we're diving into a topic that is close to many hearts. And I must say close to my own heart as well. You know, this thing called marriage. It's Up Here with Ezine, still your favorite female-centric show, and I'm here to keep you company as usual. So let's do this, my beautiful people. Finding self, finding purpose. My name, as always, is Ezine Kufrekanem, and I'm your host. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As you come in, please settle down, like the stream, share the stream, bring in your friends here. Today's topic is hot, hot, hot like that. And our guest is hot, 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 hot as well. So I'm thrilled to have you join us on today's episode. The topic is this thing called marriage. Marriage is a journey filled with highs and lows, joy and challenges, and everything in between. And just as we do not know how the journeys we set out on will pan out, we also do not know how the journey of marriage will pan out. But there are some basic preparations we must do to navigate this complex yet beautiful journey so that we can make the right choices for ourselves. Be kind to follow us on all our social media platforms at Ezine, Up You with Ezine on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and X. We'd love to connect with you long after this episode is ended and continue this conversation because it's going to be a very long and deep one. Like I said earlier, please like and share the stream. It is one way you help our ministry so that we can continue to serve you better. The topic today is this thing called marriage. May I remind you that all episodes of Up You with Ezine are now on our YouTube and podcast channels. At Up You with Ezine, be sure to follow us and don't miss a thing. Don't miss a thing. So I'll do a little bit of housekeeping now and remind us about the upcoming Up You Women Conference, which is slated for 31st of August 2024. The theme for this year's conference is Through the Fire, Triumphing in Adversity. I'll say that again. Through the fire, triumphing in adversity. Where would you rather be on August 31st? Battling adversity or learning how to triumph in adversity? Every one of us is facing one challenge or the other. And we have gone the little extra mile to put together this fantastic definitive conference where we have gathered women, incredible, wonderful women who have been through all kinds of adversity and who are willing to come and teach us how they survived so that we too can survive. And then we're doing something that is so unique and different this year. Our panel is made up of six coaches in different areas: mindset, growth, emotional, marriage, finance. We've got them. We pull them in together because we want you to have sessions with them immediately at the conference where you consult, you ask your questions, and then you get the leading that you require to begin to equip yourself to overcome your adversity. Let me not oversell this conference because it's a conference that is already selling itself. People are registering left, right, and center from within Lagos and outside Nigeria. Please join us. Make sure you go register. Go to www.upuconferences.com for more information. But now you're most welcome. Settle in. I see you all. Please settle in. Share. Bring in your friends because it's time to bring up our guest into the studio. Stay with us while I bring in the guest into the studio. If you're just joining us, this is Up Here with Ezine, and the topic on the banner is this thing called marriage. The topic on the banner is this thing called what? Marriage. Yes, I know that we are all very excited and we all want to know much about it and our guest. Yes, yes, yes. Joan Esho is our guest today, and she is a dynamic and multifaceted individual residing in Lagos, Nigeria. Over the past 20 years, she has built a life and career marked by her devotion to family, faith, and professional endeavors. As a mother and wife, Joanne exemplifies love and commitment, sharing her wealth of experiences and insights from her marriage. In her role as a minister, she provides spiritual leadership and mentorship, guiding her community through life's challenges with her deep rooted faith. Joanne's entrepreneurial spirit has led her to successfully establish and run businesses across various industries, showcasing her management skills and innovation. As a book editor, she helps authors perfect their manuscripts, ensuring each book reaches its highest potential. Leveraging social media, Joanne connects with a diverse audience, sharing valuable content and promoting her initiatives. An accomplished writer, her publications offer inspiration on topics like marriage, family life, faith, and entrepreneurship, resonating with readers worldwide. Joan Esho is a remarkable woman whose dedication to family, faith, and professional pursuits serve as an inspiration to many. Her ability to juggle multiple roles with excellence makes her a true role model in her community and beyond. Dear everyone, world over, please join me to welcome to the show this morning, Joan Esho. Good morning, Joan. How are you?
Good morning, Ezine. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
You look absolutely peaceful and beautiful as well.
Thank you. You're looking
Can
good.
you share your secret? Because I need to look like you.
Wow. I want to be like you when I grow up, Ezine.
You see this
So,
life? We always think that the grass is greener on the other side. Oh, and by the way, I'm wearing green. Huh? Okay. All right. It's great to have you on the show today. I can tell you that.
good to be here.
So, everyone, our topic is this thing called marriage. Joanne, are you ready?
I am.
Okay, let's do this. So, first of all, let's set the stage. You're married, right?
Yes, I'm married, 20 years now.
Exactly. Because you see, one of the things we do on this show is that we bring people who give us experiential knowledge. We do not
Mhm.
bring people that say, we do not do theory, we do practicals in this show. So anyone you see on this show is exactly who they say they are. Oh, okay. You have a lot of love coming your way. We haven't even started, and people are sending you lots and lots of love. Ronke Oguntoye, thank you for being on the show, and thank you for the love. Yeah. Okay. So let's go. Marriage is often seen as a milestone in life. In fact, some people say it's an achievement, and but marriage is actually a partnership that requires effort and understanding. So, Joan, we need to start with the basics. Can you please define marriage for us?
Marriage is an institution, I'll say, ordained by God.
Mhm.
You know, marriage, God saw it that it's not good for man to be alone and says, let man have a partner.
Mhm.
Let there be somebody that you walk the journey of life together. Let there be togetherness. And that is basically what marriage is all about. It's about going through your journey in this life with a partner, with a soulmate, with your rib, that you are not alone. Unfortunately, not everybody will marry, but that doesn't make that person less. But for those that are married, just remember, is your journey through life two person as one, with a soulmate, with a partner, with a helpmate. That is just basically what marriage is all about togetherness, about oneness, not being alone.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I like what you said. Marriage is God made, it's not man made.
Mm.
And so if we're going to be doing this thing, we have to be looking at the manual of the person who made it. This is incredible. Thank you for this. So from your experience, what are some of the common misconceptions about marriage?
I'll start with a common one that is particular to me. We see marriage as something that will solve all your problems.
Mm,
Marriage is something that once you are in it, all your existing problems will just disappear. That is a misconception. People see
mhm.
marriage as a bed of roses, like Disneyland. Once you enter it, you just go happy, happy, happy all the day. Wonders will just be happy. But marriage is far, far more than that. Marriage is more than love. Marriage is more than compatibility. Marriage is more than yourself. Marriage is not something you just enter, lightly. It's not for the faint-hearted. Marriage is for adults. Marriage is for people that are sure you are ready, that I want to go along from this next level or next phase of my life with a partner, with someone I call my own, with someone very fit, kitted to my life to work with me on this journey. That is the misconception is that is a problem fixer, is a bed of roses, everything will just work out, everything will just go smoothly. People put a lot into planning a wedding. You think about the caterer, the hall, and many don't give thought of the journey called marriage.
Wow. Wow. You've said a lot of things. Let me see if I can capture them. Please, if you're on the stream, just help us be writing down some of the things that she's saying so that we can help those coming after us to grab it as well. You've said a lot of things, like I said. Um, First of all, let me confess, I was on that misconception board of once you get married, everything will be okay. In fact, I took my own a step further. I actually said to my husband, okay, now that we are married, make me happy. And he reached to laugh. He reached to laugh. And I remember I said this the morning after the wedding. I said, hey, now that we have married, oh yeah, start your job of making me happy. And the young man looked at me and said, isn't it my job? It is not my job to make you happy.
Okay.
It is your job to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Just like it's my job to be happy, then we will both bring our happy together and then we will be happy. And I said,
Exactly.
Ezine, you've entered one chance. People get married and they live happily ever after.
After. Yes.
And now you've gone and gotten married, and they're telling you the morning after the beautiful wedding that your happiness or
You
your
like
you
being
know.
yourself.
So I can imagine that there are lots of people who also entered marriages with that same misconception. And then the second one of it is a bed of roses. That's a very big one as well,
Mm,
you know.
mm,
Um, if you're in the stream and you have some other misconceptions that we may not have mentioned that people carry and enter marriage, please put it down so that we can be looking at them as well. I do not know how somebody can even be thinking that marriage can be a bed of roses, because this is
mhm.
two human beings coming from two
Different.
very similar or maybe similar positions and in life with different values and everything, and they say they're in love. And then um it, I don't know how they're not expecting any kind of friction. So I like your rider, which is marriage is not for children, marriage is for adults. Is that it's something you have to intentionally enter and take
Mhm.
decisions you want. And it's something that you have to work at. I
Mhm.
like when you said love is not enough. I'd like you to, in the course of the conversation as we go on, I'd like you to tell us what you meant by that. Love is not enough. Because isn't that the reason we get married? We're in love. We're feeling all giddy, giddy, nice, nice, nice. We see this person, our heart goes, you make my heart skip a beat. How can you be saying it's not enough? Please don't get me started, you know. So that brings me to asking you, if you say love is not enough, or then are what do you believe are the key elements that make a marriage successful?
Wow. I think the key elements that make a marriage successful will be starting with God Himself. The fear of God.
Mm.
The fear of God. If you have the fear of God and your partner has the fear of God, I tell you, 99% of issues ahead are already resolved. Because if you sincerely have the fear of God, this I'm not talking about being religious, knowing, going to church. I'm not talking about knowing the Bible or the Quran. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about being a true devoted person, a devotee to God. Having the fear of God. The fear of God will help you to be fair, to be straightforward, to be sincere, to be honest, to be a good partner in this journey. The fear of God is the main ingredient for marriage. And let's look at love. I tell you, there's a song that comes to my mind. It's so good loving somebody and somebody loves
When
you back.
somebody loves you
I
back, yes.
tell you. When I say love is not love alone is not enough. You can love, but your love alone is not enough if that person does not love you back. So you must be sure this person loves you back. It's not 70%, it's not giving yourself 40%, it's giving your totality to your marriage and expecting totality in love in return. Love also is not in words. It's not in I love you. It's not in I know and you know I love you. Love is in actions. You can't say something and then you are doing the direct opposite. Love is in actions. Love is expressive in your character. That is just one thing. Love. That thing called love. Sometimes is overemphasized. I told my younger brother when he was getting married, I said, "Do you love this? Did you love this lady?" He said, "Yes." I said, "Do you know if she loves you back in return?" He said, "Well, he doesn't know, but he loves her a lot." I said, "Marry the person that loves you." You see, your own love is secondary in marriage because you know your stand with this person, but be sure that you know the stand of the other person. People pretend well. It's not lip service. It's not in saying it. It's going all the way. When I say love is not enough, in marriage you need wisdom. Wisdom. There is a work to do. There is a working of marriage. It's just like, let's say, salvation. We Christians will say, work out your salvation with fear and trembling. That's that aspect of salvation. Your salvation is your individual working. But you see, in marriage, the working, you have your individual role, but it has to sync with the other person's own. If not, your own work alone is not enough. You need wisdom. You need wisdom to play your role well. Wisdom to be a good husband, to be a good wife, to be a good partner. Wisdom to take decisions. Wisdom to talk. Wisdom to behave. Wisdom to know your limits and boundaries. Wisdom is very, very important in marriage. Trust is also another ingredient. Trust, building trust for each other is another vital one. Communication. I think you can see now, isn't it, that love is not enough in this matter we're discussing.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Thank you so much. Um, you almost had me distracted when you started singing that song because that song is now running around in my head. Um, yes, yes, yes. Um, you, I like the first point you made. Um, you start with God. Let me tell you, let me share with everyone one of the deepest questions I've been asked in my life concerning my marriage is, do you want to be right or do you want to be righteous?
Hmm.
So if you want to be right, you can go at it with your humanness and everything. But
Hmm.
if you are spiritually connected to God and you want to do it the God way, then you will choose to be righteous. And
Hmm.
that's exactly what you're saying when you're saying, we're not talking about going to church or going to the mosque. Anybody can, devils actually do live there
Yeah.
as well, So, but it's someone who has a God consciousness and who carries it and who exhibits it, someone who understands what the tenets and the principles of marriage are, and who is willing to walk the walk. And like you also said, love is a verb, is an action doing active word.
Mhm.
It is not I love you. Anybody can mouth that. Anybody can say I love you to 100 men in a day or 100 girls in a day, you know. But love, when it comes to living out the love you profess, will you be found actively in the field working it? But let me take you back a bit. Sometimes we just wake up, we take, I want to use the word or the phrase, we take a lot of things for granted.
Yeah.
So because you saw someone or you met someone and the person makes your heart go boom boom boom, you now say you're in love. And then so because the person also says they're in love, you now accept it like that, that you now do not do the groundwork. Every single one has a love language.
Hmm.
I know that in my marriage, in the young days, I had to say to my husband, this and this and this are what you do and what I see that communicates to me that I am loved.
Mhm.
Because you see, my husband is, for instance, is the kind of person who wants to do profound things for you. You know, if it's possible, he wants to bring the world to you. Yes. However, I am that woman that I'm tripped by the simple things of life. You're having a busy day. The chairman of your company came and you people are doing meeting. And inside that big meeting, you just carry your phone and say, babe, what's up? I miss you. Aye, you love me. Oh.
Exactly.
Or you just wake up and I come back and I say, I had a very hard day today. All my clients, they you say, come, 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 give me your feet. And you rub my feet for me. You love me,
Yes.
oh. If you don't give
Mm-hmm.
me money, I'm okay, oh. But you see this
Yeah.
one, you love me. Or you just wake up one day and for no reason say, babe, what's up? I saw one new food joint. So let's
Well,
go.
let's
And then we
go.
go and I chop up. You love
Mhm.
me.
Yes.
But you see, this may not be what you consider as love.
Mhm.
Maybe for you, for instance, Joan, love can be somebody who puts you in an aeroplane and flies you to watch FIFA World Cup somewhere. Now, that may be your own love language. For another woman, it could be somebody who brings her rare books. For another, it could be somebody who, we all have different love languages.
Exactly.
And as we grow and evolve, it changes. So when you enter marriage or you contract a marriage relationship, you do not think, okay, because yesterday you took Ezine to one restaurant, so every day you take her there. No, Ezine too has grown a bit, And maybe now Ethne
Mhm.
likes to go dancing, So you must
Yeah.
continually find what that language is and speak it. It works for
Yeah.
both the man and the
And
woman.
the woman. Uh-huh.
I think what happens is that we assume that because they love us or because we love them, that everything we are doing is proper for them. I think we should learn to speak and say what we want and what we expect,
Mhm.
because this journey is a for life journey, isn't it?
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
we should ensure that we do not start in the morning being unhappy because it's going to be for life. We must have to say this is what we like and this is what we do not like in the morning so that, and what happens is if we don't say it and then we wake up halfway to say it, they will say we have
Mhm.
acquired bad habits. It is because
Of
of the
course.
people that we are now friends with. They have taught us
That's why
something
the
bad.
certain, of
You were not
course.
like this before. So that's why it's important what you said that a woman or a man should be matured and know themselves and what they want before they go yoking themselves in marriage with somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, why? Okay, yes, you're back. All right.
Yeah.
So thank you very much. You, as we were speaking, honestly, you're really making a lot of points today. You mentioned communication. And from everything that I have read and everything that I have seen, oh, by the way, yesterday was my 25th wedding anniversary, everyone. So feel free to type
Congratulations.
congratulations. I think
Congratulations.
somebody said to me that 25 is an adult. So I think I am an adult now in this business.
Yes.
Eh?
Yes, sir.
So when I say from everything I've seen, I think I qualify to say that. So communication is often cited as crucial in marriage. Yeah. Can
Mm-hmm.
you please share why this is so and tell us some effective strategies that we can use in communicating with our spouses?
Communication is very, very important. Very
Mm-hmm.
vital. And I think one of the things we need to do more in communication is listen. Listen to your
Mm-hmm.
partner. Actually hear, listen, be able to understand, comprehend what your partner is saying. It's not all the time that you do the talking. Sometimes listen to understand, because understanding one another is another ingredient for success in this journey. Then when you speak, for that person speaking, or when it's the turn of the other partner to speak clearly, speak your mind, and don't hold back and feel that okay, my partner is going to get what I'm saying, or we understand what I'm saying. Don't do that. Don't avoid assumptions. Don't assume. I think it's better you put things out there, you speak them up front, you clear the air. That's it. And one thing about communication and why it must be effective: be sincere, be genuine, don't pretend, be open, be clear, and be straightforward. Avoid bringing cunningness into your discussion, or being manipulative into discussion. And when it comes to communicating during an argument, watch your words. Watch your words. In fact, means them. Don't just say anything. Don't rain curses. Don't rain abuses. Leave room for tomorrow. Leave room for tomorrow. Know that this too will pass. There's going to be a time for this argument, this challenge, whatever it is, and it will pass. But when it passes, be sure you've not said something that will lead to bitterness, that will lead to unforgiveness. But unforgiveness is something that should not even have a place in marriage. Communicate clear, communicate well, avoid assumptions, and listen. You can't be right all the time. Sometimes admit that you are at fault. And when you admit that you are at fault, Actually apologize. Don't be too big to say sorry to your wife. In fact, there's wisdom when you even say sorry and you are not at fault. You can say, I'm sorry you feel this way, but here are my reasons. You've already apologized. And one ingredient that is good in arguing or communicating during conflict is prayer. You want to start that you want to start that conversation. Actually say, honey, please, can we hold hands? Let's pray. You know, it brings a calmness already to the situation. By the time you pray, you bring God into it. You've already brought that resolution that comes by the grace of God and the Holy Spirit. And your partner knows that you are invested to seeing things get resolved. And be a peaceful a peaceful, loving person. Love harmony. Don't live in a situation where things are always upward. You create unhealthy relationship, unhealthy atmosphere around your home just because of something that you have discussed. You know, there's this African adage, I don't know if it's a worldwide one, that says the sun should not go down before you settle or resolve the differences. Be at night that you feel your partner is ready to talk. And when your partner is ready to talk, don't just brush her aside or brush him aside and say, please leave me, I'm not interested. Always be interested for peace. You know what? This fight is not going to be the last fight. This argument is not going to be the last one. So make peace, be happy, create the atmosphere. Another one is coming, and you are definitely, with this strategy, you are going to definitely overcome. I think that's my view on communication.
Oh my God. I think that you have actually just helped someone on this stream today. Because with all these strategies, I believe that someone is going to go back and try. These are indeed invaluable strategies for communication. Thank you. There's a wealth of experience speaking here. Thank you so much. There's so many things you said that if I start picking them one by one, I'm not even sure that will be done today. Um, be careful what you say and choose when you say that. You know that one you said about let us pray. I'll be honest with you. I'm struggling. I will struggle with it because when I'm angry, I don't. What I want to do when I'm angry is not pray. I want to say what I want to say, and I want to say it. And I'm sure a lot of women are just like me, because by the
Yeah.
time we're holding hand to say the prayer, the anger is going, and I need you to
It's
get my
already
anger.
going.
So thank you so much for talking about it, because I will try it. You know, and I with experience, I know that the Holy Spirit will come and douse it. But you see,
Mhm.
as a human being that I am, I don't want anything to be doused. I want to have my say. Oh my God. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm sure that some other people on this stream will be thanking you as well. It is important that our words are seasoned. You see, someone said to me once that there are two people you should not lie to in this world. One is to your God, however you see him, whoever you call him, however you call him, however you worship. Do not
Mhm.
lie to your God. And the second person you should not lie to is yourself.
Nice.
Do not lie to yourself. Because the truth is, when you start to pretend in a relationship, you will either be ready to pretend till death do you part, or you will catch frustration on the road and be so frustrated that the relationship will fall apart. In my own experience, it is best to say, this is me. These are my expectations.
Mhm.
These are my boundaries. These are my deal breakers. Oh boy, if you do this one, I am out of this window. Oh boy, if this one happens, I am not staying here as any helpmeet though. These are the things that, just say them. I don't know what can happen, but say them the way they occur to you, but very gently and nicely. I also tell people that encounter me that I do not know your impression of me, but when I reach my house and see my husband, all the guy is gone. There's no
Mm.
forming, there's no guy,
At all.
there is nothing, there's no boss lady, the person who walks home is simply Mrs. Kufre Ekane,
Yes.
and the person I go to meet is Mr. Kufre Ekanem, nothing
Mhm.
else. And then so we can have conversations as two normal human beings. I think we
Mhm.
should normalize this, between ourselves and our spouses so that we do not have to live a pretentious life. Thank you for telling us that one again. And then also, I need to take us back a bit more. Because it just occurred to me that if we are going to do this by God's manual, then what is expected of me is to respect my husband because the
Yes.
manual says, no, man,
Love.
love your wife
Mm-hmm.
as God
Woman.
loved the church to the point of laying down your life for her.
Mm-hmm.
And the instruction to the woman is, Ezine,
Submit.
respect your husband, whether he is there or not. So long as you have chosen and you call him husband, respect
Mm-hmm.
him in his front, in his back, anyhow, respect him. And sometimes when I think about marriages in my mother's time, in our mother's time, where they didn't even have friendship or courtship, where your father comes and says, I have married you to Mazio Kongwo, and in 8 market days, you're going there.
Mm-hmm.
And those marriages thrived. And those marriages
In the
produced
test of time.
you and I and several others on this train. And then I say, okay, so what happened? It must be because our mothers went there and were respectful of their husbands, and their husbands showed them love.
Yes.
I think God knew that if we respect our husbands, it will make love to grow in their minds for us. And God also
Mm-hmm.
knew that the language that the woman would see and respect is a language or a
Okay.
posturing that shows her, I am loved. Because showing a woman love means that you are ready to protect her, you are ready to lay down your life for her, you are ready to do any and everything to establish this woman. You see, establish. You're ready to do any and everything to establish this woman, to allow this woman grow into who God proposed her to be. That's why I believe that men are called grooms. Because
Mm-hmm.
you get a wife, then you begin to groom your wife into who she's supposed to be. So speak to this stuff because a lot of women now say, I love him. I'm in love with him. My love for him. And then that feeling of butterfly now covers our eyes that we now do not see some red flags. What do you think? Should we put love before respect or respect before love as women?
Okay, I would say for love should be mutual. Love should be mutual. And respect also should be reciprocal. That's how I see it. Yes, a husband is, according to the word of God, is the one that God commanded to love. Husbands, love your wives. But does that mean that the wives should not love? I think it was just saying that we need to love ourselves. Now it goes to say, wives, respect your husband. Submit to your own husband. Does it mean that it's only the woman that should respect? I tell you, a woman can respect her husband, call him Lord, call him Father, call him Master, my King. A woman can show a lot of love and respect and should respect her husband. But the husband also should make sure that this respect is earned. This respect is earned. Why do I say this? You see, I hear a lot of men complain about disrespect from their wives. A woman is not naturally made to disrespect. A woman can give her all, lay her life down for a man that truly loves her and respects her. But if you break that hedge, can a woman continue to respect you if you're unfaithful, if you're a cheating husband, if you're a husband that always beats her? Although love and is supposed to be unconditional, but there are these little things that will begin to make the respect to wane, it begins to fizzle out. God will not allow our own to be like that. We should respect our husbands, but husbands, please respect yourself. If you respect yourself, you will not cheat on your wife, you will not be unfaithful, you will not be selfish. You will give it your all. And a woman respects that. A woman respects that. I tell you, it's just like me having a friend. And this my friend, I see her as somebody up there, a wealth of wisdom, and you understand, I see her like a bigger version of myself, who I want to be. I see her as somebody who right there has the skills that I can tap from. And it will run smoothly till the day that friend begins to look down at me and feel that this one, her brain empty, she don't have anything to give. You will not be that person to me. You will have fallen from that height that I place you. That is just how it is with the issue of respect. Wives, as much as possible, respect is unconditional. Let's respect our husbands. One thing I know, a husband cannot deal with disrespect. You cannot handle a child that is disrespectful to you as a parent. So that is how it is when you are disrespecting and disregarding your husband. But I want husbands also to take this home. This issue of respect is not a woman-only thing. Respect yourself. Reciprocate that respect that your wife gives you. Then do nothing to remove that cloud of respect that this woman gives to you. I think that is my view on love and respect.
Thank you very much. I'm still going to dwell a bit on this point because a lot of people are commenting in the I'm reading all the comments. Everyone, I'm seeing you. Lillian, thank you. Ronke, I'm looking at all of it. So thank you. Yes. I like when you said respect should be reciprocal. Going much deeper, there are all kinds of respect. There is mandatory respect, the one that you must give because you chose this person to be your husband. Mm-hmm. Marriage is the only institution where, except if you were forced into it, marriage is the only relationship where you choose who you yoke your life with. So there is a respect that is mandatory that you give to this partner that you have chosen for yourself, by yourself. And then, of course, there is the one that is earned. Mm-hmm. There is respect that is earned, which is the one that his action of love, of care, of mindfulness, of provision, and etc. bring about. So when I was talking about, I should have been clearer. When I was asking my question, I was dwelling more on the mandatory respect that you must give.
Okay.
Whether or whether, because you made this choice, you have to have this respect for your spouse. And that's the same thing for the man. Because you chose this woman out of the millions of women You just have to love this woman,
Mm-hmm.
And then I will buttress this by giving you a tiny story. I remember when I first got married to my husband. Yeah, we used to go to a certain church, and then we used to sit, towards the back of the church, in the auditorium, and then I will be rubbing his head as the sermon is going on. One day the church people called us and said, "No, Ezine, this thing you're doing is disrespectful. You can't be rubbing a man's head. You will teach our wives to disrespect us."
Yes.
And I was taken aback. And I said to them, "Shall we do one thing, please? Can we find out from my husband
If it
if he
feels
considers my rubbing the back of his head disrespectful? If he considers it disrespectful, then we'll be talking. Please note, I am only married to one man, not to all the men in this church. Because sometimes we carry these things a bit too far. You must respect, you must respect. Respect is also personal to each person. The
yes.
same way we say you have to love me in my own love language. It's the same way that respect, some people kneel down to serve their husband's food.
Yes.
That's respectful.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have anything against it. If I carry food today and kneel down in front of my husband, he'll burst out laughing because he will say, "Ezine, what do you want? You now certainly want to kill me." Because it's like you now plan to take everything I have, because it's not in my makeup. That is not the way I see respect. So we must always, look at these things in perspective. But okay, we've dwelled too much on, can you ever be too much? You're teaching us and we're learning. So please tell us, yeah? How is it important to maintain our individuality in marriages? You see, because there's a portion in the Bible that says your desire shall be for your husband. And
Mm-hmm.
so a lot of us get into marriages and we lose our identity. We lose our personality. We now become appendages. Mrs. something, something, something. And then, in fact, our friends who knew us before as Ezine Hoa cannot reconcile us as Ezine Kufre Kanem, because we forgot Ezine Hoa the day we said I do. So how do we as women keep our personalities so that, we don't just blur so much that we forget ourselves, forget our dreams, our aspirations, just because we are married?
I tell you, marriage, marriage, marriage is a school. It's a school,
Exactly.
and you don't graduate from it. That's it. I'll say on this note, be true to yourself. Be true to yourself. Be yourself. If there's a version of you that was an attraction in the first place, there's a version of you that attracted your husband. It might be in your looks, in your thoughts, in your talk, in the way in the manner at which you do things. It might be because you are a career person. It might be because you are business oriented. It might be because of your spiritual level. You are God fearing. You like the things of God. Be yourself. Those things were part of the package that attracted your husband. Although there are some things that along the line will be discovered and you might need to let go. But you must think about this thing. You must also discuss them, then see if letting go of this thing is going to positively affect you, going to enhance your marriage, or it's going to negatively affect you. Don't be that version of yourself that you yourself will hate. That version of yourself that you will not like. When I married my husband, a very loving person, when I married him, and let's say within 3 weeks, he became a parish pastor. I've been saying all my life that I can never marry a pastor. I can never marry a pastor. It's been on my head. And here my husband becomes a pastor. I now have to, work alongside with him as a pastor's wife. That is myself that I never saw coming. But because here we are, that is marriage. Here we are, I have to adequately give myself in to adequately support him in that role. And also without losing my identity. I was coming from a ministry that, we dress the way we like. You come to God just the way you are. And my husband is in a ministry that you just have to, there's some changes. You might cover your hair, you understand. Look, in those days you have to even look kind of holy to say. You have to have that holy look. You might not even wear earrings or just wear a pin. Don't wear trousers, no makeup. I'm not a heavy makeup person right from time. I can even do without it. And then my husband says to me, no more trousers, no more earrings, you know. And I look at him. I said, are you sure that this is what you stay me as I be before you marry me? But you have to obey. Then I tried. I went without earrings, went without trousers for a while. Now, and I'll keep reminding him, but I was wearing trousers when you met me. I was wearing earrings when you met me. Maybe I can even wear a pin or something. He was not uh, he was not agreeing. Then thank God we had a sisters conference and I saw people that that dress the way I want to dress. I quickly called on him to come and sit with me. Then right there we started discussing. I said, is this woman not looking holy in the way she's dressed? This is my husband. Allow me to be myself. This thing has been giving me concern. It has been worrying me. You can see that even I'm here. I see this thing and I invited you to see. We're looking at other women. Some were coming out the way they are dressed. In fact, in that conference, I looked like a house girl. There, I had jewelry, I had things that I could wear, but I wanted to look holy. But I saw people that were true to themselves there in their dressing, in their look. They were not out of place at all. They were not looking rash or looking like they were looking responsible in their dressing. I think it helped me a lot. My husband then agreed, and I think we are fine. You see, if I had lost myself there, I did not agree, but I did not say anything. It will be eating me up, and it will be destroying my happiness, destroying our marriage. In everything, whether it's career, whether it's spirituality, whether it's in your courage, whether it's in dressing, yes, your husband should dictate how it should be, but not that you should lose yourself and load yourself in that decision, not like in this version that you are. Don't give up all your stuff, give up your dreams, career, all that in a marriage. Sometimes get your partner, whether the wife or the husband, to understand, to give you time and give this decision time and see. And I tell you, it positively enhances your journey together.
Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you. It is important that you remember why your spouse fell in love with you in the first place.
Yes.
Sometimes in the process of losing ourselves in marriage as women, we come up completely different from who the man met and married. That even the man himself is asking himself where he's from. Should I me see this babe so love her? I've been a mistake I do. Because sometimes they can't understand the way we've changed, and we are changing, believing that this is what they really would want. So you see that thing you said about wisdom? It was wisdom that made you call your husband to come at that particular time to sit and see for himself, and that helped him. Sometimes where we're coming from, the things that we're carrying, the baggages that we're carrying, they surface. And sometimes, depending on the kind of homes we also grew up in, if you grew up in a home where maybe there was abuse or maybe there was infidelity, a man can even wake up and say, "My wife is too pretty. Please don't wear makeup. I don't want other men to look at you." And because he has not shared with you what his deep fear is, you too, you don't understand that it's something that can be worked on, and then he can understand that you can wear makeup and nobody will see you, that you're not that kind of person. You just agree and you live the rest of your life without wearing makeup, and you be resenting your husband. Love is like a flower planted. If you do not pour water and put manure and prune and trim, it will not grow. So the moment you're resenting this man, I was doing wearing trousers, though, and he now said I should not be wearing trousers. Though. It might look little to you, but you see, over the years, it will take root. And one day you bust out and say, "I stopped wearing trousers just because of you." And somebody we will now all be looking at you like, "Is the only trouser that is making her explode like this?" But that's
Right.
because you did not apply wisdom like Joan is telling us today. Joan, thank you. Thank you so much. There is nothing like a little problem. So long as
That's
it makes you uncomfortable
right.
within your relationship, please discuss it. This relationship is not about people outside. Like I always say to my husband when I want to talk, I will say to him, "Have we locked our house?" And he will say, "Yes." I said, "So we're ready now. We're inside." He said, "Yes." I said, "The most important persons in your life are the ones under your roof right now." And he'll look, "It's just me and him." And I'll say, "Fine. So can we talk in such a way that we can get it?" Sometimes I say to him, "Break it down to me like as if I'm in primary one. I need to
Hmm.
understand you." And then sometimes he says to me, "What will I do to show you that I've got it?" And I'll enumerate one, two, three, four, because it's a complex, it's life, and it's a complex thing. And we must make sure that our interests are protected first, and then our common interests are protected next. So it's
Mhm.
important that you do not lose yourself, so that you're not like that famous woman that we hear the story, who woke up one day and said to the children, "Because of you, I amounted to nothing. I lost everything. I
Mhm.
stayed because of you." We do not want to be that kind of woman. We want to stay. We want to stay because it's good to stay. We want to stay because it's happy and healthy to stay. We want to stay because it serves our purpose to stay. Marriage is a purpose thing. It's not just a status thing. It's a purpose thing, and it should fulfill it. Yeah. Very quickly, let's go down to the meat of this gist. How do we keep romance alive after
Hmm.
so long? And the life now has become very visual.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just wonder, is it that I don't know men, or are men really like this? All these people that are enhancing their bum bum to be larger than normal and enhancing their boobs to be larger than normal and all of that and all of that.
Well, I'll say hello, isn't it? Hello. Hello, isn't it? I don't know if you are hearing me though. Hello. Okay, I guess I'll just answer that question. I don't know if Izin is still hearing me. Spicing up our marriage.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for staying on. Hello. Joan, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you. I don't know what happened there. I got thrown out. I got thrown out by network. Yeah. So please, could you just continue like we never stopped and take that last question that I asked you?
Okay. The question is, how do we keep this romance of marriage alive?
Yes, please.
And I'll say, you know, do those things that make you and your partner happy. That love that attracted you together, those things that was a major part of that love that you felt before marriage, those things that meant passion and affection for you, do them. Don't, because you are advancing in marriage, our marriage is 2 years old, is 5 years old, and so on, just feel that, okay, there's no need for us to do those things again. Go out on a date. Go out on a date. It can be the wife, it can be the husband. Ah, honey, I'd like to take you out to dinner. Go and watch movies. I like to watch movies a lot. Yes, we have a big screen at home, but you want your me time with your husband. Go out, go to the theater, watch movies, go to the beach. Sometimes, yes, if children are involved, the more the merrier. But sometimes, let it just be both of you. You know, take yourselves out, plan vacation for yourselves. If you love to travel, travel. Because I and my husband we like traveling. We like to go out of town, you know. But if those things are no longer there, remind your partner. You know, we used to love traveling. We used to like to travel. We like going out of town. Let's do that. If you think that things are going down, the romance is not as it is, spice it up. It can be and you can learn some of these things. You can find out because we are advancing. We are in a world that is dynamic and is changing. Find out how best you can do these things. It can be in your sex life. If sex is a strong language for both of you, spice it up. I tell you, hang out together, go dancing, go swimming, do things that will keep passion in your lives. I tell you, that's just it. Once those things are there and alive, you bring your husband or your wife back to those days, how it used to be. I tell you, you'll be very very happy couple together.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So it is important that we intentionally bring back romance into our lives.
Yes.
Like we all know, what you don't work at just dies off slowly.
Yes.
So whatever it was that attracted you to this person in the first place, whatever floats your bubble, what the strong common love language is emotionally for two of you, should be explored within your given time and finances. I know that things are hard now, but you can still keep the love going. Yeah. Okay. And it will be amiss of me to finish this conversation on marriage and not talk about the biggest threat to marriages that we have right now, the concept of infidelity and the concept of side chicks. A lot of people have already asked, are you not going to talk about this? I left it for the last so that you can just give it your voice. Someone said, if you both love yourselves, you respect yourselves, and you will not cheat on your spouse. And now it has become very rampant. We have a lot of cheating cheating spouses, both male and female. We are hearing and experiencing a lot of DNA issues. Women are having children by secret lovers and putting these children up as their husband's own. Husbands are actually keeping side chicks and claiming boldly that the side chickism is the reason why they are even still married to their wives. That the ministry of side chick is what is helping the ministry of marriage. I mean, come on. Where and how did we get here? And how can we combat these things that are happening? In fact, just before I go, there's a last one. I can't eat a goosey soup all the time. I must have to have a goosey and obono means okra and all of that stuff. How do we deal with this?
Okay, well, I would say the issue of infidelity in marriage. You know, how did we get here? That question, I think, is the main question. What are the elements that bring about infidelity in the first place? When you create room, distance, malice, not resolving issues, unforgiveness, either partner throwing the other person out, denying the person because of anger, you are denying your spouse that attention or your body because there are issues that are not resolved. There are issues that have festered. then of course, these babes out there, they are going to grab him. All these guys are going to grab her. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. Why you yourself should not allow it. Although some people cannot be sated, let me say that, by one woman. That's why they are thinking about eating egusi and eating ogbono and eating all that. But if you find out that your husband is the one that likes to eat ogbono, eat egusi and eat that, then the problem lies with you, because you can be egusi, you can be ogbono, you can be all that. There's a book, Why Men Marry Bitches, Why Men Love Bitches. It's not that, it's not saying marrying a bitch or marrying a prostitute. That is not it. There's just some things out there that a woman will do to keep her man. You need to find out what you need to do to keep your man. I said, well, there was one time I remember an episode between I and my husband way back then, and we like to hang out in joints and all that, and we went to a barracks. I will not mention it, but a cantonment, and we like to eat fish and all that. Is it that I don't know how to prepare fish pepper soup, but we like to hang out. So while hanging out, there are drinks, pepper soup, and all that. This lady comes. This your husband was once a bachelor. And he might have been coming here before he met you. And so a lady came out while talking to him and all that. She was saying, "Oh, God," she was making faces, and it wasn't cool for me. I have to tell my husband when we were leaving. I said, in fact, the next pepper soup like this, I'm going to buy the fish. I'm making it. These drinks, the fridge will be loaded with it. I'm not coming here again. You need to find out with wisdom what is keeping your man out there, what is making him unfaithful, what is making your partner, yet a woman, unfaithful. And you need to block those things, not with fights, not with gra-gra, with wisdom. Bring your man home. If he comes home and that ogbono soup today is now correct pepper soup tomorrow, I tell you, he'll be looking forward that tomorrow is going to be egusi. I'm talking about spicing your marriage. Bring in the dynamics that will keep your home happy, keep your man or your woman with yourself. Don't allow conflicts. Don't allow another person grab your property easily like that. Let me tell you a story. There was a friend of mine, or he was like my cousin way back then. And he had a lady that he was going to marry. That everybody had known that this is his wife. They are going to marry. Both families have agreed and concluded. And this guy goes to work in Port Harcourt for a period. And the story just changed. He says he has met somebody else that he wants to marry. Everybody was wondering, what's going on? What's happening? No, you guys have come a long way. Why would you do this to this lady? The mother even took it upon herself and went to Port Harcourt and to warn her son to say, no, you can't do this to me. You can't spoil my name. This other lady that you have known since is who you are going to marry. And the mother got there. She fell in love with this lady, with this other lady. Before you know it, that mother that went to fight, she did everything possible for the guy to marry the lady he met just a few months ago in Port Harcourt. And one day I sat him down. I said, what happened? What happened in Port Harcourt? He told me that the woman, this lady, treats him like a king. He comes home happy. She's a career person like him. She gets home early enough for him to meet her at home. He's coming out from the driveway. She has gotten his things, collects his suitcase, and he sit down, remove his shoes, all that. I begin to wonder, really? You mean she will remove your shoe? He says, yes, she will remove my shoe for me. Put it, the way she treats me. My mother was doing gra-gra. She will cook food. She will ask Mama, Mama, what would you like to eat today? Let me know when I'm coming back. Every day, different food, different spice. He says in the other room, don't go there. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? Do the work. And all these issues of side chicks. Be a side chick. Be a side chick to your husband. What does that side chick have that you don't have? One day I turned myself around. I said, what does another woman have out there? You are educated, you are beautiful, you are God fearing, you can cook. Don't leave room that a side chick will fill. Don't leave room that I don't know what I will call the guy now. I don't. They are not nothing like a side side guy. God will help us. Don't leave that room. Don't leave that vacuum that another woman will fill and take your place. As a husband, don't give room for it. As a wife, don't give room for it. Don't allow distance. Don't allow unforgiveness. Don't allow conflicts to fester on. Don't keep malice. Don't throw your wife out easily over silly arguments. And the next thing, a lot of damage had passed. When you now decide to come back, there's already somebody in the picture. It's just unfortunate.
Whoa. And that's all I can say to that. Whoa. Did you see that? It was just a transfer. And that transfer brought about a transfer in affections as well.
Yes.
The man saws a new level of respect and commitment and intentionality.
Yes.
Some of us have become so used to our relationships that we forget that as our husband is going out in the morning for work, he sees us wearing our night dresses. For those of us who even bother to wear night dress, maybe we even tie up on our chests. That's the picture, the visual he has, and he's going off to work. And he gets to work and he's seeing these ladies that are all well made up and in wearing their perfect corporate numbers, hair well cut, face well made up, in their high heels, speaking English and everything. And then what he remembers of his dear wife was she was tying wrapper with her hair net. These big bogus ones we now wear now that look like cherubim and seraphim. Oh, excuse me, forgive that. Those big ones that we wear that are made of satin. And then that's what he remembers of his wife. You don't look sexy, you don't look attractive, you don't look like somebody should be coming home to. And I don't care that you pray and you speak in tongues. A man is visual. A man is very, very visual. And then he manages to stay on the path of righteousness and finishes work and then drives back to the house. And guess what? You've actually also gone to work. So you dressed up really nice and went to work, but you've come back and you've changed into that your house uniform.
Yes.
So in a given 24-hour, every day, Monday to Friday, your husband doesn't see you dressed up. In fact, the most he gets is the picture you put up on Facebook, if I thought you're the picture kind of person. That's the picture that still makes him think that, oh, okay, my wife is a hottie. Okay, my wife still got it. But what he sees and what he remembers is this woman who doesn't dress up in the morning as he's going to work. And this woman he comes back to who has removed the wig and is probably slaving cooking. And you're saying to yourself, I'm doing so much. I'm cooking. I'm cleaning.
Yes.
But that's not why he married you. Those are some of the things that he will get that will come because he married you, but that's not why he married you. You need to find out from your husband why he married you and ensure that you are fulfilling that role. For some, he married you because he wants good sex. For some, he married you because he wants a picture perfect person by his side when he takes a picture. For some, he married you because he wants you to raise children for him. Because not every man will agree to nurture their kids. There's several reasons why men marry. And you must make sure that you're fulfilling that reason. And trust me, these men have a lot of fantasies. And that's why you see that pepper soup thing you talked about. I also tried to do that sometime back in my early days of marriage. And my husband said, okay, so you can make the pepper soup. Will you bring the gist? So you must understand why they go to where they go to, what the
Yes.
attraction is, and then
Mm.
see how to plug and play. For the life of me, I can't understand football. But here I am, married to somebody who enjoys football. Guess
Yes.
what? I started learning to enjoy football for the days that
Mhm.
football will be watched in the house. So find the reason why you were married. And if
Yes.
you do find it, if you're lucky to find it, trust me, no attraction will take your man away from you. Attractions may
Okay.
come and go, but you will still remain there because you
Yes.
understand the reason why you were married.
Mhm.
So thank you very much. We have gone way and over the time for this discussion, and as I expected, because it's a very interesting topic and one that is
Mm.
very close to our heart. I want to thank everybody who has been on the stream with us. Thank you so much. I see all the comments, massive, massive. I am going to personally come back, and I'll beg Joan to come back and also look at the comments and then give us answers and responses, and we can continue in the comment section. But we need
Yes.
to bring this to a wrap now. So John, I'm going to say to you as you wrap up, please could you tell us, give us your thoughts as a pastor concerned, as a pastor's wife concerned, and as a woman concerned. Please give us your thoughts on the role of faith and spirituality in marriage as you wrap up.
Mm. That role can never be overemphasized. Role of spirituality in marriage. You know, if your marriage starts with God, the fear of God, that already have set a base for the God factor in your journey. You pray together, you grow together in the things pertaining to God and godliness. You can't be a prayer husband, a prayerful husband, let me say, and not encourage your wife to build that strength in prayer. And you can't be a praying wife and not encourage your husband. Your journey has to be together. Pray together, study the word together, no matter what. Do you know if you do morning devotions, you set it as a norm in your house? We pray every morning together. Even if you are career people and you need to leave the house at 7, it is possible to do. You pray together. Do you know that even if you have conflicts and you come together to pray, already, even before discussion, it will even be part of the prayer, it will form the part of the prayer points already. Grow together, know God more, grow deeper in the things of God. As God grows deeper in you, so does love in your marriage. So are some core values, like being trustworthy, like being sincere, being honest, like sharing, being a giver to your partner, being a true helpmate, celebrating each other. I tell you, your compatibility will be more stronger when you build faith alongside your journey. It's never overemphasized. If you live a life with God in it, the devil have no room. As the devil is creeping in, God, the God factor, God Almighty, that faith that you have built, the word of God that is on your inside will help you to get to a resolution. Except, of course, if the God factor is missing and you guys are both pretending. God Almighty will help us and help every marriage out there.
Thank you very, very, very much. Thank you. Thank you for coming on the show and for
Thank you,
sharing your
everybody.
very wise insights with us.
Thank you, ma. It was a
One
pleasure being
thing,
here.
thank you. And she goes,
Mhm.
Ma. One
Mhm.
thing that I have taken from this conversation again today is a word, and that word is openness. Openness. There's the reason why the Bible says they were naked and not ashamed.
Same.
It does not mean um, physically being naked all the time and not being ashamed. It also means figuratively being naked and not being ashamed. When you
Mm-hmm.
understand that marriage is a partnership of two human beings who have come together and they are now yoked together. You know,
Exactly.
when you yoke yourself together to somebody, you have to ensure, that it's you're yoked together in your values, in your strengths, in
Yes.
your
Yes.
vision, in
Mm-hmm.
everything that you are doing. It's not only just in, okay, we must marry from the same church. No, yoking together means that our values are similar, our outlook on life are similar. We're dreaming the same kind of dream, and we both want to travel the same kind of terrain. And so,
Mm-hmm.
because we are similar, we can be yoked together. And because we are yoked together, we are stronger together. And then, when
Mm-hmm.
you're yoked together with someone, you have to be open. You have to be open. You share your dreams, you share your visions, you share your fears. I know
Mm.
that the men might shy away from this, but you need to share your fears. If I do not know what you are afraid of, what will I even be
Mm-hmm.
praying for you?
Exactly.
If I do not even know what you are aspiring to become or do or achieve, how will I even be meeting you or helping to meet your needs? Remember,
Mm-hmm.
my role, for instance, in your life as a woman is that of a helpmate. And so I
Mm-hmm.
can only help what I know.
That's
Otherwise, I'll be
understand.
floundering. And so you must
Mm-hmm.
give me a vision. We must sit down and fashion out a vision for our marriage, a purpose for our marriage. A marriage is a living entity and it should
Exactly.
be treated as such. It's also a sacrament, but you see, it's a living entity. It should be treated as such. It should have purpose. What? How can two of us come together and we just amount to we are pleasuring? We wake up, we smile, we laugh, and that's what it is. No, it has to be a little bit more than that. It has to be
Mm-hmm.
something that gives you latitude within our agreed operating frame to be who you can be and all that you can be, and does the same as well for me, your wife. It gives me latitude within the agreed operating frame to be who I can be and to become all that I can become. It is
Mm-hmm.
because women do not have this freedom expressly given to them that they are now taking it. It is because we are not discussing these things that a woman can actually sit down in a marriage and have several children that are not her husband's own. Because the
I'm
husband is
telling
not
you.
saying, I have some dysfunction or this and that. You are not having these conversations. That means that you are not even yoked together. That cannot be a marriage. A marriage means that two of you are in it together. See,
Mm-hmm.
when people begin to shame themselves and say stories about their partners, I shudder and
Mm.
I wonder because that cannot be a marriage. A marriage means that I have taken on your weaknesses. You've taken on my own. I've taken your strength. We've melted it all together in a pot. And we are going to, from this potpourri, emerge two stronger human beings. But I have said so much. And I know that
Mm.
our guest today has also taught us so much. And it's been a very, very, very interesting discussion. To all our listeners and everyone who tuned in today, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for turning up. Remember, marriage is a partnership that requires continuous effort. Like Joan said, it is a school that you never graduate from. In fact, they give you certificate on the first day because they know that the journey is long. So take certificate so you not say you're in a hurry to get certificate and then start learning in the school. Okay. So, and then of course he told us there has to be love, there has to be understanding, there has to be wisdom. All of this, we have to keep all of this in mind and we will not be afraid to seek help when we need it. Okay. We hope that today's conversation has provided all of us with practical tools and renewed motivation to tackle the challenges that we face in our marriages, to renew the wines of our marriages, to go home and schedule that conversation to bring up that communicating quality that we all know how we used to make these men eat out of our hands now. We have not changed,
Exactly.
it's still us now. Eh?
Mm-hmm.
So we need to go back and have those conversations again. I'm feeling a bit mushy, maybe because I just celebrated 25. And but we need to go back to the basics, go back to loving, go back to respecting, go back to the good old way of doing it. And hopefully, we will be among those that are doing right and setting examples good for everyone else to follow. The reason why our children are having finding it difficult to get married is because we haven't set good examples for them. If we are floundering and struggling in our marriages, how do we expect our children to wake up and embrace marriage? So we need to fix ourselves, fix our marriages, so that we can actually encourage their children to go out and marry and not keep on becoming baby mamas all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so this is where we wrap today's edition of Up You with Ezine. It's been another amazing one. Please make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere at Up You with Ezine. That's the handle. Get copies of all our books, Up You with Up You, When Adversity Strikes, Fight, and Recalibration Blueprint, Becoming Your Best Self. Please look out for these titles and make sure you get them and read them and apply what you read because it will help you to become your best self ever in life. Yeah. So big up to everyone that is involved in creating this magic every week. Starting with you, our dear listeners, thank you so much. You all came out in your numbers today, so thank you, thank you, thank you. Our guests, our special guests, thank you, Joanna. Our advertisers, the callers, the engineers on duty, thank you. The amazing Up You team, thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. We look forward to bringing you more inspiring stories. Until I come your way next week, please stay up and be good to yourself and send us inspiring stories about how you have, turned around your life and your marriage. God
Yes.
bless you. And it's up you from Joan and myself. Up you. Joanne, up you.
Up
Good.
you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.